Hello Mallards, it's Tuesday, and today I'm going to talk about the next two Lennox Mutual calls I had. I had call number 10 and 11 over the last couple of days, and I feel like I am inching my way towards their ending. I know that Directions ends, and I know that eventually people are not allowed to book calls anymore, and I feel like I am moving in that direction. So I did a few different things. For call 10, I still did Directions. Also, I got Sasha again. And Sasha has rapidly become my absolute favorite, which is interesting because I'm not sure what character Sasha is in the world of Eyeless. Sasha is either the alchemist who I adored or the geometer who I didn't particularly like very much. But Sasha has been my representative for I think at least my last 4 or 5 calls. So I have spent a fair amount of time with Sasha, and I really, 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 really like Sasha a lot. So that has been lovely for me. I would like some Gabriel in my life, and so maybe that'll happen. And I'm also not sure if I have ever met Harper, but I have enjoyed my time with Sasha, and I had Sasha for both of these calls. So for call 10, I did do Directions. I am still on my way up the mountain to meet the Vagabond, having finished with the Alchemist and all of that. And it turns out that it's a really hard walk, and I got very tired. And then I ran into Mrs. Allen, who's a woman I met way, way, way back in the beginning when I was waiting in line for the Paladin, when I went to the line for the Paladin. And she stopped me and talked to me, and then the census taker took me away, and I didn't really get along with her. And I can't say that I particularly get along with her now, but I did learn a lot about her, and that was really interesting. So I learned that she is also not from Eyeless. She is actually from a place called Allen, and it became her last name because here in Eyeless you're named for where you're from. But where she's from, people only need one name because the town is small and everybody knows each other, and her name is Isadora. And she was heading back home. And she told me to take something with me that can only be found in Eyeless. She suggested diamonds, gold, etc. I think I have this empathy potion, and if I can take anything with me from Eyeless, it'll be this empathy potion, because the empathy potion is effective, and wow, wouldn't it be really needed right here in my world? If I can take something out of Eyeless, it is this potion that I can make other people drink that literally puts them in someone else's shoes, and then they figure it out. There's so many people I would feed that potion to. Anyway, I did eventually make it to the cave, and then I was told that there were only a few directions left, which completely changed my plans for the next call, because usually I am a directions girl, but I realized that I wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity to explore the rest of the menu. Not that I would necessarily need to. I feel like if I finish directions, I will get an end of the story, but there were just a lot of things I hadn't done. So for call 11, which happened this morning, I once again had Sasha, and I decided to go extension heavy. So I dialed 3 different extensions, which I had been holding on to, that I had heard throughout my directions journey and at other places. And I heard the story of a little history of the transition of Eyeless. So when the party of 5, which includes the Bard, who is now the Blind King, so the Bard, the Alchemist, the Geometer, the Vagabond, and the Paladin, adventured to recover the treasure and defeat the evil, and they asked the old king to help them, and he wouldn't, so they went out and they did it, and then the Bard lost his voice, and as a result didn't know what he should do, and so he became the king. And I loved that they said it was inconvenient, it was beautiful, it was the end of the world. And during that story, there was a beep, which generally means it's something that's outside or separated. It was beep, and then I heard the sounds of somebody who sounded like they were trapped. They were breathing really, really heavy and just kept saying, no, 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 please, no, no, please, no. And then it beeped again, and then it went right back into the music in the story. And I talked to Sasha about it, and Sasha said that it's all part of the story. And it was really probably one of the most intense things that's happened to me in all of Lennox Mutual. Not the most intense thing that I've heard about, because Megan, in one of her stories, literally dropped a match and burned people alive. but it is the most intense thing that I'd heard about. I went to another extension, which was basically a Lennox Mutual ad about them looking for new customers all the time. And I went to another extension where I got a story about black holes that I really enjoyed. And it talked about how black holes aren't devourers. Black holes are patient. It doesn't eat things. You don't fall, you sink. And you sink so slowly that you don't know you're sinking until it's too late. And I thought that that was poetic and beautiful. And then I heard a recording from Major Tom, the captain of the Lazarus 14 spacecraft, and he was giving a report that said the 14th of November 1970, 2300 hours, captain's report. He talked about samples of rocks that he'd picked up. He talked about the meal stick rations he had left and their flavors. And then he said that there was this joke that he'd just been thinking about. How did the astronaut tell the other astronaut he was sorry? But he told Anderson that he couldn't remember the punchline. And then he sort of was having a struggle remembering things. He's clearly very lonely. He says that the stars are still and bright and so, so far away. And he thought when he went to space, the stars would be closer. And it's clear, like during this, that no one's talking back to him. And he says at the end, maybe you guys will send me a message back. Maybe you'll tell me the punchline of the joke. Or maybe you'll send me more stick rations, food stick rations. Or maybe you'll tell me what year it actually is. And that was very heartbreaking. And then at the end, Sasha told me to remember everything finds its way inside and it's only a matter of when. Which was also heartbreaking. I tried to do directions. I was told that there were no current directions, which I knew would happen because I didn't have enough time. I also tried to get into documentation. If anybody knows a documentation password, I'd be interested. I tried to say I forgot my password, and then I said I didn't know my password hint, and then I just got kicked out. Maybe I should make up a password hint. Then I did hours of operation, where I got read the information about a thyroid steroid, which was really fun and hilarious. And then I tried a promotional offer because I really wanted to pay things forward, and I did not make it through the promotional offer. So sorry for whoever's call was after mine. I really, really tried to get you that extra minute. I just didn't quite make it before I ran out of time. I can feel the end of Lennox Mutual coming. I've booked 2 more calls. I can't decide if I want to play around with the menu a little bit next time again, or if I want to dive right into directions to try and reach the end. But I can feel it coming, and I'm very excited to see how it all finishes. I think that this particular immersive experience is a beast. It's incredible. It's very inspiring. I have loved every minute of it. And if you haven't yet adventured into Lennox Mutual, I really think that you should. And for Mallards, I'll see you tomorrow.